Hello everyone, so we are from Group 2 and today we'll be talking about Chapter 4, which is the Unitary State of the Republic Indonesia. Let me introduce ourselves.
My name is Emerson.
My name is Ira.
My name is Levina.
My name is Jolene.
My name is Chrislyn.
First of all, we need to understand what rights and responsibilities are. As these two concepts are inseparable, these are entitlements or privileges that a person deserves or holds as part of their human rights. While responsibilities are duties or tasks that a person must perform as a part of their role in society. In everyday life, we have rights and responsibilities as members of a school, members of the community, and as citizens of a country.
As citizens, we have rights such as getting a job and also a decent place to live. But to obtain this right, there are some obligations that we need to fulfill, like respecting and appreciating other residents, also care for and safeguarding the surrounding environment.
From that, we also have rights and obligations as citizens. The rights we get are like getting a decent living and getting fair treatment in the eyes of the law. Apart from that, there are also obligations such as obeying the law and government and respecting other people's human rights.
Apart from the essence, there are also foundations for state defense, which can be divided into three. The first is the ideal foundation. The ideal foundation is Pancasila, because Pancasila is the reason that encouraged the formation of the Indonesian state.
The second one is the constitutional basis that contained in three articles. The first article is 27 paragraph 1, which states that every citizen must participate in defending the country. The second one is 30 paragraph 1, which states that every citizen must pledge the national defense and security effort. The third one is the 30 paragraph 2, which states that Indonesian National Army and the police are the main force and people as supporting the force. Third and final foundation is the operational foundation, which consists of various regulations that are elaborations and the provisions of the constitutional foundation, such as MPR decrees and also law.
State defense also has its form, where according to Chapter 9, Verse 2 of Republic of Indonesia Law Number 3 of 2002 concerning national defense, citizen participation in state defense effort is carried out through citizenship education, basic military training, service as TNI soldiers, and appropriate service by profession.
Membership as a citizen is also called by the citizenship. It can be divided into two meanings. The first meaning is sociological meaning, which is characterized by the emotional feelings, history, and also homeland. The second one is by the juridical meaning, that is characterized by the legal bond between state and the people.
Certainly, citizens have their respective role. Passive role, active role, positive role, and negative role. The passive role means citizens comply with the applicable regulations. The active role means citizens engage in national life. The positive role means citizens require service from the states to fulfill their welfare. And the negative role is citizens demand for the states not interfere in their private lives.
Apart from that, citizens also have a role in the legal sector as regulated in Chapter 21 of the 1945 Constitution.
Furthermore, in the political field, citizens can actively participate because political policies affect their future lives.
Citizens also have a role in the social cultural field, where they play a role in eliminating various forms of discriminations against other citizens in any aspect.
Citizens also have a role in the field of defense and security as stated in Chapter 31 of 1945 Constitution of Republic Indonesia, which states that every citizen has the right and obligation to participate in national defense and security efforts. Indonesia also has laws regulating Indonesian citizenship, namely Law Number 12 of 2006 and Chapter 26 of the 1945 Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia regarding the determination of Indonesian citizenship, and it states into three numbers. 1. Citizens are those who are native Indonesian nationals and individuals of other nations are approved by law. 2. Residents are Indonesian citizens and foreigners residing in Indonesia. And for the third and last number, matters concerning citizens and residents are regulated by law. A person can also obtain citizenship through naturalization or citizenship, which involve submitting an application, fulfilling the administrative requirements such as living in Indonesia for a minimum of 5 years, passing a citizenship test, and a recognition of Pancasila and the 1945 Constitution.
The fundamental differences in determining citizenship can lead to static problems as follows. Statelessness or appellate, where an individual lacks citizenship stated due to adhering to EU solely but was born in a country that follows EU sanguinis. Dual citizenship or bigotry, where an individual holds two citizenship due to adhering to EU sanguinis but being born in a country that follows EU solely. Multiple citizenship or multiple tribe, where an individual holds more than two citizenship due to being born on the border of two countries.
To deal with this problem, of course, there is the following solution. First, passive stosel means that someone can become a citizen without having to take a certain legal action. Second, active stosel, that is a person needs to take a certain legal action to become a citizen.
In the field of law and politics, it can be seen as in Chapter 27, Verse 1, which states that all citizens have the same position under the law and government and are obliged to uphold the law and government without exception.
In the economic field as well, there's a principle that prohibits any special privileges, prohibitions, and discrimination of citizens.
And in the religious and sociocultural fields, there is a guarantee of equal rights for all citizens to embrace religion and carry out worship and religious activities according to their respective beliefs.
Then from our explanation today, we can simplify it into a few points.
First, rights and obligations are things that are related and must be obtained and implemented by all citizens. Second, we as members of the school, community, and state have our own rights and obligations. Next, there are different determination of the citizenship in each country. Lastly, the need for equal rights and obligations for everyone.
So that is all for our video. Thank you.